Welcome to the Spiroverse. Lots of people watching will not actually have any idea what the Spiroverse is. So in this documentary I'm going to try to explain to you the phenomenon known as the Spiroverse nether regions, and all of the other connected interworlds and other lore that goes with it. This all started with a live stream which I now think was being fed information subconsciously, possibly by the Spiroverse itself, to bring us into the fold and show us what's really going on. So what I'll do first is I think I will show you the live stream so that you can get the background of where this all started, and then I can give you some history and information of what I have found after doing some research. So before I play you the live stream highlights, I'll tell you a little bit of history about spiral pattern makers and the company who created them. I'm going to have to be careful with some of the wording I use due to trademark issues and copyright. So I'm going to call them spiral pattern makers from now on, and if I have to say the company name, I'll play a little clip so you will be aware of possibly what the company is. You can make your own mind up without it ever being said.
Don't do that, that's all he has, bro.
So basically, the more I research this, there is a phenomenon known as the Spiroverse, the nether regions and multiple other phenomenon with it, where if you use a spiral pattern maker, people can have quite bad experiences, to the degree that you can disappear forever. And from what I've researched, it appears that people disappear and are tortured basically forever on an essential time loop. It appears some children go missing as well. The more I research this, it appears to be children in a bad home situation tend to be taken away, and children who are in a better situation tend to have bad experiences, like being scared, having nightmares. And when you look into it, the Spiroverse is part of a mass of multiple universes, and I suspect now that the children from the bad homes, the abused children, are being actually taken away to a better place, and the other children are just being warned away because where they are is perfectly fine. It appears that adults who do the spiral maker patterns, who are quite evil, tend to be taken away and tortured, or receive an injury called crinkle cut cock, which we'll talk about later. So that's the very basics of the Spiroverse. I will now show you a live stream of where we became aware of it, and then give you some more history afterwards. So what you're going to see now is around about 12-minute footage of the highlights of the live stream where we became acutely aware of the Spiroverse. Enjoy. Ain't Fairgun said, do you think watching the Saw films subliminally made you buy a new saw? You know what? Nice one. It might have. You know what? It might have. Because for years and years and years, I've been sawing away with this shitty saw that makes my shoulder fucking kill. Maybe it did. Maybe it finally spurred me on. I never thought about that. But yeah, maybe it finally did. It's sad. That's what those films were all along. A massive advert for big... Maybe. And I just didn't. And yes. You know what's happened, Nick? Right. So... all of the Saw films were a massive subliminal advert for B&Q. Once everyone had got enough saws, they changed the name, didn't they? To Jigsaw. There they are. Now they're trying to sell jigsaws. Now they've sold enough jigsaws, they've changed it into Spiral. Now, what a Spiral is, I don't know. That's a Spiral. Now I want to buy a Spiral. There you go. Dad said, I got given a Spiral when I was a kid. I once did a design that was so weird and sort of otherworldly, it frightened me, and I put it in the cupboard, never used it again. For fuck's sake. That said to Zed, weird you should say that. My dad got one as a kid and played with it once. I had a nightmare about it. That night, never played with it again. That's well weird, though, isn't it? Now you two say that, that's bizarre. Was you two like? Was they like? I don't know, opening up some fucking spiral fucking portal to like another world or something? Maybe you were. Maybe you were. Maybe you'd done the exact combination that had opened up some fucking portal to the fucking netherworld. And maybe that's what spirals are. Maybe that's what they are. Nick said maybe spirals were sold under the table by Satanists. Maybe. See, there you go. Maybe they have got, like we all know you shouldn't mess with Ouija boards. There you go. What we need to do is make a film about spiral opening up a portal to hell, and then people will finally take them seriously. And I'm not taking the piss out of Luke or Zed there, because I just found it really amusing, though, that two people have had sort of weird nightmares about them. That may be a real, that may be like not a real thing, like a common thing. Bizarre, isn't it? Absolutely bizarre. 83 Air Gunner said, next it'll be an etch sketch. Yes, etch sketch. Well, I think, honestly, the fact that now that two people have said they've had nightmares, it's a cursed toy. That just people don't talk about what it does. Yeah, there you go, Nick. How's Spider Madness affected your family? If it's happened to two people, it must have happened to loads more. It's a thing, Nick. It's got to be. I'm going to have to research this now. And it's going to turn out that there have been kids doing spider disappeared. Never to be seen ever again. And there's like a burn mark in the middle of the graph pattern. Nick said, imagine if we looked it up and there was actually a spike in missing kids on the day they came out. That would be proper weird, wouldn't it? I'm telling you, Nick, it's a real thing. It's real. It's real. And if it ain't real, it's real in some other universe, I'm telling you. That's what if there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you going to call? Spiro Busters. Who's willing, though? Who's going to be willing to tie a rope on them, get sucked in, who's willing to do that? I don't know if I am. Dad said, you can do some hideous design graph, believe me. And you do get holes in the middle of them. Fuck, I'm not going to get any sleep tonight, am I? I'd say so. If I'd have known that it was affecting you that much, I probably would have shut up. But, yes. I believe it's real. Here you go, Zed. There's a new story for you. I would love you to write us horror stories for next Halloween. I can't talk about the missing small one, Supreme Leader. Swirly Twirly will send the heavies after me with the ninja throwing spires. Oh, fucking hell. That didn't even cross my mind that they might have weapons. That's changed things slightly now. Too busy thinking about demons, let alone things that might come in here. Come to our world. But I am convinced, Samurai, that what's happening is, and I've told these lot I'm deadly serious, right? Deadly serious. Not even going to wink at you. I look like I'd have a fit. So you do the spirograph thing. What's happening is children do it. Yeah, it's like a Ouija board. Exactly that. They are. That's what I mentioned. That yes. So you know how a Ouija board was once essentially a toy. Well, now we're convinced that spirograph, if you do the wrong pattern, it opens up a portal to another world, sucks you in, and I reckon if you go back and look at all of the records for all of the children that ever went missing and never came back, they would definitely 100% been playing with Spiro. 100%, I'm telling you. But no one's ever noticed. I'm telling you. Oh, the demons are real. They torture people in various ways using satanic spiros. One being starting a large swirl and trapping your foreskin in it as it goes round till it eventually comes off. Samurai Bastard, what the hell have you guys been smoking? Oh, God. I don't know. Maybe something's in the air. I don't know. I'll tell you what happened was, basically, two different people in the chat said that they use Spiro spirograph, and they both had terrible experiences from it. And I've put 2 and 2 together, come up with 15, and I'm now absolutely 100% convinced that spirograph are evil, and they're taking people. And Zed and Luke's dad are just lucky they're still here, because they was nearly sucked into a netherworld portal, or probably nearly had their foreskins ripped off as well. So, lucky escape there. Kenny said, don't do that, TV and mirrors. Hundreds of Spyro foreskins fly out. Oh, God. So now there's a load of people going around with, I'm going to have to draw a picture of this. Some of you may not be able to understand where I'm going with this. So now there's going to be a load of people. This will be quite a crude picture. I can now picture loads of people. This is how you know. How can you identify a Spyro victim? Oh my God! You have seen that scar tissue, fucking hell! Oh God! Nick said they've got a cock like a crinkle cut chip. Exactly, that's it. So, have you ever seen a crinkle cut cock? If you have, there's now a oh fucking hell! There's something about the word crinkle cut cock. It just sort of sounds perfectly. I don't know. Sounds like a real fucking thing. Oh God. Without reality, they told me that they had to have a circumcision as an older teen because of infection. Now I know the truth. There you go. Now you do, Metallic. Now you do. Yeah, blaming it on an infection. Right. I reckon it's when you make the hole that you get sucked through. I think that's what it is. Oh, I get you. Yeah. So you're doing it too much. You create the hole. That hole opens up to the Spiroverse Neverworld, sucks you in, and then never to be seen again. And while you're down there, people have managed to look through the hole, and they've seen these torture methods going on. Yeah, see you later, Peach. So Roberto, I'm going to go look for my kid's Spyro. You'll be on later. Yeah, I will be, definitely. I'll definitely be on later. He said, I think if I use the Spyro, put Slayer on backwards, I might be an idea of what we're up against. Just be careful, though. Samurai, definitely tie a chain around your waist or something, or at least stick a broom through your belt loop. And if they try and suck you down the hole, the broom will stop you going in. There you go. I just found a foolproof. Yeah, I can't even get a word, but yes, foolproof thing to stop you getting sucked into the Spiroverse Neverworld. That's what I just come back onto. Nick said, I don't think that'll help your case. Getting section. That was right. This stream is starting to seem like a fever dream. Where am I? Crinkle cut. Context is key. Wouldn't want to forget what happened to the foreskin on that dick pic. Fuck's sake. Black said, where's that YouTube visual bot when you need him? The talent reality, I have a feeling this is going to be one of those nights my neighbours will have to put up with my random outbursts of laughing. Crinkle cut said, I thought Mike was going to say, want to save yourself from Spyro Demons. That actually, as I was saying it, I thought someone's going to think I'm saying that. Someone's definitely going to think I'm saying that. Some of it, I'll use my katana. Good idea. Camera bars better. Thanks, Mike. I'll catch you later. If you can get back on. I'm quite worried now. If you're going to do a spy, well, let's all wish Samurai Bird good luck. Good luck, mate. Please come back. Spyro Foreskin collecting demon said, yo, Mike, did you summon me? I'm in for the CCC leftovers. Like vampires, you can hold up a cross. You know how to beat a fucking Spyro demon. All you need is a pole. because the fucker can't suck you down the hole then. That said, me and 83 again as well, of course. I don't. Thing is, what mate? What I'll tell you why it just sort of came very organic. Zed, but it was because it sort of amused me that two people had the same experience. And in my head, as a sort of joke to myself, I thought that must be a common thing then. And then I thought, well, if that's a common thing, who knows? Right, hang on. What's Louise saying? Did she have a nightmare as well? Dad said I said I did a pattern with it and it frightened me, and I locked it in the cupboard and never used it again. Yeah, that's amazing. I genuinely think that's fucking amazing. Louise said, yeah, I know when I played with one as a kid and looked at it for ages, it was like being on a trip. That's 3 people now. I'm telling you, it's fucking true. That was trying to suck her in, but the hole wasn't there. Louise, you was that close to being sucked into a Spiroverse never world. It's just you just happened to have not made a hole in it. If you'd have made a hole in that paper, you would have got sucked in there, and we would never even know you now. I'm telling you, you're so lucky. Zed's lucky he chucked his in the cupboard. Luke's dad had nightmares about it. Count yourself lucky, I'm telling you. You know, that's 3 people who've corroborated this story now. I'm telling you, it's 100% true. 100% true. You need to spread the word. Everybody spread the word. So there you go. That was the live stream. And as you can see, there was quite a few people saying that they have bad experiences from spirographs. And just the way it came about seemed like we was being subconsciously led down a path to discover this phenomenon. And the more I looked into it, the more I found. So I did some research into the company that makes these spiral pattern makers.
Stop that, that's all she has, bro.
And you'll be surprised, or you may not be when you hear the information. So I did some research into the company that makes the spiral pattern makers, and I was quite surprised when I found the same famous company that makes the spiral makers make quite a few other toys, but there is one very famous toy that they make. One that has a very evil reputation. The Ouija board. So straight away I think there's a connection there. So there it is there. There is some proof that it comes from the same lineage as the Ouija board. And people take those very seriously. Another thing that happened after the live stream, I was sent a clip from The Simpsons of all places. And we all know that The Simpsons have pretty much predicted everything. Just watch this clip.
Yo, Dr. S, have you seen Millhouse today?
No.
Okay, thanks.
Wait, did you know that there's a direct correlation between the decline of spirograph and the rise in gang activity? Think about it.
I will.
No, you won't.
So there you go. What I gather from that clip is the spirograph will take children from bad homes to a better place. But if children are not using spirographs, those children from broken homes are often going on to join gangs. So there you go. The Simpsons predicted it, as they often do. Another phenomenon I had while trying to research the Spiroverse, every single time I tried to go back onto my own videos, it would not work. I would keep getting patterns and pictures coming up every single time I tried to click on these videos, multiple times. So I'd click the video and it would just be colours. Click the video, it would just be colours. Click the video, it would just be colours. I now suspect that was something from the Spiroverse potentially trying to send me signals on the colour combinations to open a spiral portal, which, no thank you, I'm not doing that. And then the last thing to happen after the live stream was what happened to Samurai Bird. So you saw Samurai Bird's comments in the live stream. Well, later on, after he used a spiral pattern maker, he went to work and he fell off of a ladder was very badly injured. I now suspect that may have been some kind of warning to him not to try risking opening the Spiroverse portals. He was very badly hurt. But that is the nature of the Spiroverse. What you're about to see now is a reconstruction of what happened to Samurai Bird after the original live stream. This footage has been added to the extended version. That night, Samurai Bird had decided to play Slayer backwards while doing a spirograph. And what you will see now is a reconstruction of what happened to him.
What the hell is that? And it's gone.
Samurai Bird was very badly injured, but I suspect this was just a warning from the nether regions for messing around with spirographs, and also due to Samurai's good nature that he wasn't sucked into the nether regions and never seen again. Later, Samurai Bird posted the video you will see next.
Hey guys, Samurai Bird here.
And Miss Bird.
I just wanted everyone to know that I'm going to be okay. The Spyro Demons and Spiroverse itself was warning me not to mess around with things that I don't fully understand. I do have a scar to remind me of my encounter with the Spiroverse.
Don't let him fool you. This fucking Spiroverse shit is bullshit. He fell down a fucking hole at work.
Okay, well, I'm Samurai Bird saying it's all noodles, no spaghetti.
So we've done some history and I've told you the facts. I'll just go over a little recap now. So, the Spiroverse. Started a live stream. The phenomenon was created. I researched it. It appears it's real. Evil adults tend to be teleported to a place where they are tortured for the rest of their existence from spiral pattern maker type blades and other methods. This has been observed, but only a few times, and the footage is always very bad. People have managed to record down a Spiroverse portal, and the footage is often very frightening. Not very good quality, but horrific. People who avoid going down the portals tend to receive an injury called crinkle cut cock, which can consist of either just your foreskin being cut off in a sort of crinkle cut pattern, or your whole entire penis is cut completely in half, leaving just a crinkle cut, almost cauterized flesh at the tip. Children from broken homes, abused children, tend to be taken away, and we suspect that they're being taken away to an actual better place now. And lots of other children tend to have bad experiences from them. Headaches, nightmares, trippy sort of experiences, or just fear of the actual item and want to get rid of it. We now have some interviews with some people I've met along the way making this documentary. I've been travelling extensively across the country and the world to interview people to do with the Spiroverse. It's very, very difficult to get people to talk on camera. Most people will either want to talk with a voice changer or their face hidden, or not at all. These are some interviews I managed to get in relation to the Spiroverse. I hope you enjoyed them. They were quite difficult to get. The first interview you're going to see is with a lady I met called Wendy, whose son went missing around about 10 years ago. He has never been seen since, but due to much research on my part and one of the later interviewees, we have determined that he was probably taken away through a Spiroverse portal and taken to a better place.
My son went missing 10 years ago. I never thought much of it at the time. I always suspected his dad took him. We did look for him for an afternoon. The neighbor even put up some missing posters, but he was never seen again. A year later, Mr. Desad visited me and told me about the Spiroverse and that he had seen the posters and the spiral pattern maker information. I never trusted that man, but he told me all about the other missing kids and how it goes with the spirals. That boy was always messing with those bloody things. I hated them. They made me feel all funny like, but he seemed to like them in a weird way. Desad asked me if there was a spiral with a burnt hole in it. I said I wasn't sure. I never liked looking at that crap, and I slung them all away, but there could have been a burned one. Have you seen my son? Here's a picture of him the day he went missing. Take no notice of the bruises. He was a clumsy boy. I never did nothing to him, so don't say I did.
I suspect Wendy's son has been taken to a better place. It's not my place to say that, but the environment that Wendy was bringing up her child was not the kind of place you'd want a child growing up. She claims in her interview that she'd chucked away all of the spiral patterns he did. That's a lie. Under his bed, I found this. The word angel is misspelled at the top. This is what leads me to believe that he was taken away to a better place, away from this abusing household. I also found under his bed this spiral with a burnt hole in the middle. The next interview will be with a mental patient I met, Arthur Quattropo. He's been in the hospital for quite a while. I suspect he is mentally ill, but I also believe his story. He showed me physical evidence, and just use your imagination, but I have seen a crinkle cut cock firsthand, and it is not pretty. It was shocking.
Been in here 6 years. Why won't these bastards believe me? It was Spyro demons. They mutilated me. I was only messing around with that fucking spiral maker. I heard you could see into other worlds if you did it the right way, and it's true. Only it's not what you think it is. It's not a nice place. They say you can get sucked in unless you wear a safety broomstick attachment. So I wore one, thinking I'd be alright. What those fuckers never told me was that if you do wear it, the demons just cut your cock off instead. Or only the foreskin if you're lucky, if you can call that lucky. Look at me now. They have me locked in here, cock cut to ribbons. You ever seen a crinkle cut cock? I'll show you. You just hold on there, I'll show you, then you'll believe me. Please get me out of here. I still see those fucking patterns in my dreams.
As soon as Arthur had showed me his crinkle cut cock, he was taken away by the nurses. And he was shouting, "They're trying to open a portal! They're trying to open a portal!" I've since spoken to more patients, and it appears that there are quite a few patients in that asylum who rant and rave about the Spiroverse, spiral pattern makers, portals, Spiroverse gates. I think at a later date I'm going to have to investigate the asylum a lot more. Something's going on there. Mark Desad. What can I say about Mark, other than he is probably one of the weirdest people I've ever met. Describes himself as an S&M enthusiast, Spiroverse investigator and connoisseur of the weird and wonderful. When I met Mark, it turns out he knows quite a lot about the Spiroverse. Having already met Wendy, as you heard her speak about him, he's been researching the Spiroverse for quite a while, and I suspect for evil intent, possibly for his own gratification, sexual gratification. As I've mentioned, Mark Desad is a very weird man.
I found out about the Spiroverse in the late 90s after being arrested at an S&M event. Some unlucky chap got cut, shall we say, in the groin area, and I was questioned over something called CCC. I had no idea at the time. I would say I'm a connoisseur of the weird and bizarre, so started to look into it. After much research, it appears certain children would disappear when using a spiral maker, mostly abused ones for some reason, and the children with good homes seemed to have adverse reaction to the spirals, but that was all. I was never interested in the kids. It was the teleporting I wanted to know about. If anything, those abused ones were probably getting taken to a better place, and the other kids got a warning to stop using them. If you look up any information about the Spiroverse, it all comes back to multiple universes. I wanted to see those other places. Surely everyone wants to see the unknown, feel new feelings and pleasure. After much research, it appears certain patterns will open a portal. My initial thoughts were to open a small portal and look in, but that's when you get crinkle cut cock or worse. So I thought I could use a telescopic sight and a camera to film it, aim it down the portal. I also handcuffed my leg to the radiator over there, and then I used a broom in my trousers belt loop to stop me going down the hole. They now call those safety broomstick attachments in the Spiroverse investigation groups. Do you want to see the footage? We can have some dinner after. Fancy a drink?
There's his footage. Very grainy, but you can see the discs, you can see the torture, you can see the blood. I have no idea who that is happening to, but as far as I'm aware, that happens eternally once you're taken there. One other thing I would like to mention is Mr. Desad did cook me dinner. He invited me to the dining room and bought us out a meal. I now suspect Desad is potentially trying to receive crinkle cut cock. I have no evidence of this. As I mentioned, I think he's slightly insane. Mark Desad is now missing, presumed dead by the police. I suspect he's been taken to the Spiroverse. And having travelled to America, I finally interviewed Otis. He had been promising me a very interesting story for quite a while. I met him He couldn't really walk properly at the time, wouldn't tell me why. He said I would find out during the interview.
This one time I was out drinking with Billy Sue and Jeb. We'd been out hunting and drinking, and had a right good old time. Spent the whole weekend shooting shit, and drinking beers. Boy, we had a good time. Well, it was good till the spiral stuff came up. I got hurt real bad when we tried that shit. Never again. I can still hardly walk right now. One of them boys mentioned those spiral maker thingies being in the cabin. Jeb reckoned if you did it right you could call a genie or some shit. BS, that's what we call Billy Sue. Said it ain't a genie, it's a demon. And you need to use a protective stick to stop them hurting you. We started daring each other to try it, and I got double dared, so had to do it then. We went back to the cabin and Jeb found the spiral thing out. Even then I didn't like the look of it. Looks like hundreds of teeth to me. So we lay the paper down, and get them toothy rings out, and then I remember. You guys said I had to use a stick to protect me. So BS gets a nice big old stick and says I need to put it down between my ass cheeks. So I get that big old cane. I look at the top, decide no. Then the bottom, that looks better, and I rammed it right up my ass. My thinking was the more it went in the better the protection. I never felt pain like that before. There was blood and the feeling of ripping. I was in agony. Then I fainted. By the time I woke up the boys said the genie and been and gone. I never did get a wish or see a demon, and to top it all my ass still hurts, and that was my experience with a spiral maker.
So there you go. That one was a complete waste of time. The next interview is from Jim M, a brand new member of the Spiro hunting and intel team.
I officially became a member of a very elite club this week, the Spiro hunting and intel team. Unfortunately, I fear that I might have awakened some dark forces. It's been a weird week ever since, and I don't feel like tempting fate. Now then, for those in the know, fellow Spiro hunting and intel team members, I might need your advice. Like I said earlier on, I've got a nasty feeling I've awakened some dark forces, and I'm beginning to fear for my own safety. Since I put that sticker on the car and made the Spiroverse, or whatever it is that's going on out there, aware of my involvement, things have been going strangely. I got out the car the same morning as I applied the sticker. Got out the car at the allotment, and I trod on that. I haven't seen one of these in 35, 40 years probably. And the very same morning that I made it known on my car that I'm a member of the intel team, that happened. I spent all day yesterday trying the broom thing, but I think I misunderstood that. It's just left me with a bit of a limp today, to be honest. I don't really fancy doing that again. Mike, Zed, anybody, if you've got any advice what I can do. I don't know whether I should burn this, I don't know whether I should keep it, I don't know whether I should throw it to the winds. Let me know before it's too late. I did even take a slight precaution today, just coming up here. You know, I'm taking things easy and just not tempting fate. I'm trying to keep myself safe from whatever demonic activity it is that I've awoken. You know, in the old vampire films, if you came across Bela Lugosi or Peter Cushing, you'd hold up a Bible. I'm hoping that if anything happens today, I can just do this. Okay, so very importantly, fellow Spiroverse Intel team agents, please advise, what do I do with that little Spiro disc? I don't want to anger the gods. At the same time, I don't want to bring myself any undue woes. I'm thinking burning. Let me know. Oh, my knee. I'll see you later.
The path travelled by the brush is a spiral path, a curved path. Now I'm going to try to demonstrate how the circle is produced in this way. Notice that the gaps are being filled in on each successive rotation until the entire circle is created.
It was overcast, no sunshine, a sort of a dull-ish sort of day. It's this field here, it was in winter barley at the time, it's a cornfield most of the time. And looking across, diagonally, looking at the wood behind, it was to the left, about halfway along the wood line that you can probably see on the film. The first one, where I stood in the field nearby, and then when that died away, the second one appeared near the tree, over near the woods, and it was not very many yards away from me. But the important point about it that struck me with it was the circular motion of the ashes in the grit on the ground. It's just rotating at a high speed on the ground, about 2 feet wide, 2 feet 6 perhaps on the ground. And that was unusual. That was one of the unusual things about it. And this went on for several minutes. And then this died away, and then another one appeared about 200 yards from me then, in the other corner of the field. And this was a similar situation, again, lasting about the same time. I've worked these fields for 50 years, and I've never seen anything like it before, nothing at all like it.
It was later discovered that the experiments that were being done caused multiple spiro portals to open, and everyone involved received crinkle-cut cock injuries.
It all started when I was a small boy and my father bought me a spirograph. First I thought it was fun, it was great. Then the more I used it, the more creepy things become. Very, very strange things started to happen, and it's hard to say because it generally is quite scary, okay? So I'm just hoping that people understand this, how serious this can be. On one particular occasion, I was alone in my room. I think I was about 8 or 9 years old. It was bedtime. I got the spirograph out, and I just started going around and around and around. And the more intricate and the more I focused on the center of the spiral, all of a sudden I vanished inside. It was unbelievable. It was almost like a portal, if that makes sense. So as I feel myself getting pulled in, and it's given me nightmares from that day to this. And luckily for me, I was able to grab hold of the edge, and as I look down inside, there's things that I wouldn't want anyone to see in their life. Absolutely horrific. I managed to pull myself out, but I got a glimpse of what is inside the Spiroverse. And let me tell you, don't play games. Because of that, I live on my own out in the wilderness, and it's the only way I can escape from what I saw. It still haunts me from time to time. But let me tell you this, do not muck around with it, it's deadly serious. The Spiroverse is real, and you really need to stay away from it.
So there you go. That is the phenomenon known as the Spiroverse and the Nether Regions. Be very careful if you ever use a spiral pattern maker. It could be your undoing. The proof is there. Let me know what you think. If you had experiences with the Spiroverse, even down to something minor, please let me know in the comments, because there will be a part 2 to this documentary, and at a later date there's going to be a full feature film. Don't have nightmares. Don't get crinkle cut cock. Sleep well. Goodbye.